Hello, welcome to my, my political life video blog special edition. Well, I know, it's not a special edition, but who knows. Anyways, here's one thing because everybody knows about, just remember 9/11. Yeah, you all remember, back my barbershop singing days when it's over with because I have no clue whatsoever. Every time I watch the news, I watch the news back in 2001. That means September 11th. Because when these hijacking two airplanes or two jets are being hijacked by those no good for nothing idiots, Islamic terrorists known as ISIS. And you know that is American Airlines Flight 11. And what about Flight 175? It's going to be United Airlines. But who knows? But it crashes. Here's why. But it crashes into the upper floors of the World Trade Center Twin Towers, setting fireballs, or should we say fireballs, no, or what about bombs, whatever it is, and thick black smoke over this lower Manhattan thing. Because I have no clue whatsoever. Because everything else changes everything about 9/11. This is what happens. This is what always happens. That's why I watch. This is why seriously. This is why I'm watching this before I get ready to go to work. And it happens again, September 11th, 2001. Just remember, I changed my life, because I changed my ways, democratic ways. I'm not this is why. I'm still, you know why? Because I'm a conservative. Because I changed my ways into Democrat into, yes, me. That's right. I'm a Christian Episcopalian conservative. Christian Episcopalian conservative. Because I am who I am and whatever it is. And all that, and those the newspapers, all the newspapers going on, and the mainstream liberal media bias pressure people buffoon smurfs go over the newspapers, whatever, everywhere they went. This is why I changed my ways, and that's why I'm not a Democratic idiotic creep no more. I'm sorry, I'm not a Democrat. And guess what? I'm still being myself as a Christian Episcopalian conservative. Because I gotta turn things around completely. And everybody's like, you can say all these things all you want. Put this in rain for you. If you know so much about, you guessed it, as a Christian Episcopalian conservative like me, guess what? The people at the like, why can't you just be a Democrat? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be a Democratic. I'm not gonna be a Democrat. No, I'm not gonna be a Democratic no more. I'm sorry. And why? Because of this no good for nothing idiotic Islamic terrorist try to hijack two airplanes, and it crashes inside the World Trade Center Twin Towers. And what comes next in our list of things? Guess what? You will notice that within the hours has been collapsed. The iconic island inside the Hudson River has been disappeared without a trace. And there is not a cloud of dust and rubble as the New Yorkers ran for their lives. But what about the Pentagon? Yeah, guess what? Which first responders and the motorists could be a crumbling of one of the greatest nations in this greatest symbols of strength inside this earth? But I mean to tell you this. changed my ways. I changed my ways. I turned. I changed my ways. Now I becoming 16. Guess what? 16 years later, I'm still becoming a Christian Episcopalian conservative like me. And I'm gonna fight this, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna do things my way, as far as we're concerned. That's why the 9/11 events happens tragically. And you know why? Because because another hijacked airplane flew into the Pentagon after the first responders, and it crumbles down. But what about the fourth jet, United Airlines Flight 93? It headed to inside the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Everybody learned that the attacks and figure out a plane was falling apart, and the plot, and fought back against those no-government terrorists. And it sends to the jets crashing into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And so, what happens since every year? Well, today, we pay tribute to this, to the nearly 3,000 people who died in the terror attacks, according to theblaze.com. A solemn and emotional anniversary, 16 years later, after 9/11. And you know why? It highlights the country's strength when its citizens come together. I don't care if you know this. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a liberal. I don't care if you're us conservatives or progressives or anything that's civilized. Why can't you just wake the hell up? And like I said, come together in this emotional anniversary. Because you know why? Those hurricanes goes on and on. Since over the weekend, Hurricane Irma has arrived and knocking down, inside Florida and the Caribbean and all that. And this year's 9/11 remembrance could be a heartening byproduct. And why, citizens? Because in every race and every religion, and I don't care your denomination is, Lutheran, Christian, us Christians, like me, and so it's us Episcopalians like me too. But what about Catholics? Yeah, Catholics too, and so is Presbyterians too, and other denomination in their religions. I don't care if you're black or white or Hispanic or whatever it is. Because everybody have been help each other, each and every way in this process. Just as they did back in September 11, 2001, and the weeks goes on and on and on afterwards and all that. Listen to President Trump. President Trump has saluted to those 9/11 families. Listen to this from, you guessed it, President Trump. And he will know our values in our time to do this. Listen to this exchange as far as we're concerned. And you will listen and you will learn. Listen and you will learn about 9/11. Take a look and listen and see how it wakes all of you up about 9/11. And everyone believes it. Listen to this.
It's the worst attack on our country since Pearl Harbor. And even worse because this was an attack on civilians, innocent men, women, and children whose lives were taken so needlessly. For the families with us on this anniversary, we know that not a single day goes by when you don't think about the loved one stolen from your life. Today, our entire nation grieves with you, and with every family of those 2,907 innocent souls who were murdered by terrorists 16 years ago. Each family here today represents a son or daughter, a sister or brother, a mother or father who was taken from you on that terrible, terrible day. But no force on earth can ever take away your memories, diminish your love, or break your will to endure and carry on and go forward.
Hey, NBC News view.
See, I told you, that was then. There's us now. And why? Because everybody knows how devastated it is. And life, it can happen again and again. That's why, who knows what 9/11 really means 16 years later. And finally, what about Vice President Mike Pence told those listeners at the Shanksville crashing site just for today? Listen to this exchange from Governor Mike Pence.
I will always remember the scenes of that day, watching the Capitol complex being evacuated. It was as though the building was literally hemorrhaging with people running in every direction. I found myself just across the street from the U.S. Capitol eventually, on the top floor of the headquarters of the Capitol Police Chief. I was there with leaders of the House and Senate. Shortly after I arrived, the Chief of Police set the phone back down and informed the leaders gathered there that there was a plane inbound to the Capitol, and he said it was 12 minutes out. In that moment, the room became silent. And as people began to make plans, I found myself looking out the window, where just across the street was the Capitol Dome, with that majestic Statue of Freedom standing atop it. A dome that's a symbol of the ideals of this nation, of freedom and democracy for all the world. So we waited. It was the longest 12 minutes of my life. But it turned to 13 minutes. Then 14. And then we were informed that the plane had gone down in a field in Pennsylvania.
Now it happens. It happens again. At least 100 members in Manhattan, family members and survivors and rescuers and all, officials try to gather at Ground Zero, where the Twin Towers were hit and fell, and to pay tribute to those who lost their lives, according to the Associated Press. Just reported 16 years ago. all those people who knows what 9/11 really means. And the moral of my political life video blog story is this. If you read social media feeds like Facebook and Twitter regularly every single time, and it takes time to know the news, and most folks will discover this notion that Americans had to come together with each other and help each other. And it seems that the way that 9/11 hits hard now, when the heartache is over with, it become more bitterly divided as each and every day wore on. Republicans and Democrats, us conservatives and liberals. And what about progressives? I have no clue. Because there, when the heartbreak and hardship hits rock bottom, there were no political parties. Just fast forward 16 years later. And right now, America seems to be galaxies removing from the America we knew in the days before and after 9/11, and much more division and much less hope. But when these actions have shown of late, and when the chips are down, guess what? Americans, all the political crap of theirs has got to stop. Let's subside each other, and our true colors will shine through. So ask this question. Where were you? And have you forgotten? Just remember, 9/11 lives on. And that's my political life video blog story. And I'm sticking to it.